a quick how-to video. We're gonna go over some real basic things of horses in case you've never been around horses. So let's get started. So we've got a regular halter on Echo right now. This one's kind of fun because you can latch it up two different ways, so I'm gonna show you both ways. And don't leave your horse hanging. I just know that he's not gonna run off. But we'll throw a rope over and call it a good day. So let's say this is usually the way most halters are gonna come. So you're gonna look for the nose piece. You're gonna fit it over. And you're gonna take this little tail up and over behind their pole. And you're going to make sure it's all nice and high so it doesn't sit too low on their nose. So there's the first way that you can put on a halter, regular halter. We do have a rope halter to show you. The second way that you can put this halter on, not all halters will do this either, is you can undo the chin strap. So what you're gonna do for this one, and it kind of depends on every person and every horse. Excuse me, we're still borrowing you. So you're gonna put their nose through, and if they're not ear shy, this is not one for an ear shy horse. You can just plop them over and click them in. And that is the two ways that you can put on a regular halter. All right, we're gonna do a rope halter next. So rope halters are used a lot on younger horses or horses that are just getting started with training. It has these little knots that are specifically placed for pressure points. It's gonna be like your big halter where you put it on over. You're going to take this strap over the pole, put her in. You're gonna make this D, and then you go through. That way it's not connecting above on this other line, but it's also not gonna be shooting towards the eye. So that's how rope halters work.
So I'm going to show you guys how to safely do picking out the hooves, how to pick them up, how to ask a horse to pick up their hooves. This is assuming they've already been trained to do so. So, have your back to their head. You want to run your hand down from, start at an area where they're comfortable with. Run your hand down their leg and then go down the back of the front legs. And usually if you kind of squeeze their tendon here, they pick up their leg. And then you want to pick out the hooves with the pointy end. And I usually go from the top down. That way you don't risk, stabbing yourself with it or stabbing the horse with it. It's not super sharp, but it can hurt. And then you can use the brush to get any loose dirt out and actually brush off the shoe itself. And then for the back feet, you just gently set their foot down. You run your hand along their back, down the back leg, and in vet school I learned to go down the inside of their back leg so that if they kick outwards, you don't get your arm kicked. Same thing, top down, get in the grooves there, and then brush out any loose dirt. And then you just gently set their foot down. Sometimes they take it upon themselves. And then I usually go around from one foot to the next. Then I'll show you how to put them in turnout safely. So you want to lead them in. And I always have them turn around to face me. If you don't do this and they run off, you could get kicked in the head. So have them face you. You can close the gate if they're one that likes to escape. And then you always want to take off the halter because if they roll, they could get their foot stuck in their halter. And then you can just let them go. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to safely walk a horse. First and biggest rule is to never coil your rope in a circle, because if the horse were to pull on you, they could basically trap your hand in there and you could break your fingers or your whole hand. So you want to just have loose, open loops if you have extra lead rope. The other rule of thumb is you want to have your hand pretty close to their head for control. So if I just let her on a loose rein, I have no control over her. She could, you know, walk around, she could pull me, but if I slide my hand up closer to her head, I have more control. You can start walking and they'll usually follow. You want them to be next to your shoulder, not too far in front or too far behind. That way you always know what they're doing and you have good control over them. Okay, so bridling your horse, I usually start by putting reins over their head. And with Scarlett, she's a little finicky, so I gotta let her have the choice that she wants to go for a ride. And I leave her halter on underneath her bridle, just because I like to lunge her and I don't want anything pulling on her bit. So you get your halter, she's all ready to go. You get your bridle all set up, you put your bit in your hand so that she knows where to feel for it. And she's very good, so she just picks it up. You don't have to do anything, she just picks up her bit because she knows what to do. And then putting it over the ears, you want to bring the ears forward because that's the most comfortable position to fold their ears. And then just make sure everything is straight and do up the throat latch. With the throat latch, you want to have about 3 or 4 fingers between their cheek and the latch, just so that they have enough room for, you know, it's not choking them or anything. Chin strap, not all bridles have this, but you also want that to be slightly loose. Well, it depends on the bit actually. Some of them are quite tight, but just puts a little extra pressure where it's needed. And that's it.